What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Subscribers, welcome back to the channel. To those who are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. And also thank you to everybody that supports the channel in the super chats, for the live streams. Also, everybody that watches the videos. I put ads in videos, and that generates revenue for the cause that the channel is established to support. And also thank you to, also, if you're not subscribed, hit the bell icon and hit subscribe and hit the bell icon if you wouldn't mind, so you can be notified. Anyway, thank you very much, you guys, for tuning in again. I want to talk about one of my favorite fighters. He's down, but he's not out, or he was down, but he's not out, and that is Guillermo El Chical Rigondeaux. And it looks like El Chical is going to be signing and fighting with the PBC in the late part of his career, and I think it is a very, very good move. There is a report that came out, boxing scene this afternoon, that reports that Guillermo Rigondeaux is looking to sign with Louis Decuba Jr., who works with other fighters like Ramses Barthelemy, Islandi Lara. These are other Cuban fighters like Ramses Barthelemy, Islandi Lara, and also Luis Ortiz. And of course, Decuba works very closely with the powerful boxing advisor Al Haymon. To quote Rigondeaux, who gave an interview to George Ebro, he's a man, speaking of Decuba, he's a man who keeps his boxers active, and in the final part of my career, that's what I need. We have not exchanged many words because he's a busy man, but we were waiting to solve some problems and make some adjustments with the deal, the last part of the deal that he's striking. It's no longer worth looking back on things. I'm only looking forward with great optimism, and we'll fight again before the end of 2018. A lot of things have happened that are not worth remembering. When you make a book with everything, you can make a book with everything that happened to me. The time has come for me to take the next step and finish at full speed. And I agree, man. I think that'd be a very, very smart move, because that brings him to Showtime. That brings him to an organization that can keep him active. And the most important thing is that he also opens up the ability to fight these guys at 126 pounds. And now, since Guillermo Rigondeaux looks a little more vulnerable after having lost to Vasily Lomachenko, maybe some of these guys will actually get in the ring and fight him. That being Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares, also Carl Frampton. At 126 pounds, guys that didn't want any parts of a fight with Guillermo Rigondeaux before, it's possible that he can get them now. So I'm excited for Guillermo Rigondeaux. I was thinking that he was going to be done and retire, but look, he says, I'm not trying to go out like that. He did. It's going to be interesting to see. He said he's going to fight before the end of this year, so that would have been not quite a year off. I think that he fought in December of last year against Vasily Lomachenko, if my memory serves me right. So it looked like he'll have just about a year off. And at his age, that's not a bad thing. But I do agree that he needs to be more active, make this money, get some shots against guys that are in the same weight class as him, same size as him, or closer to the same size. Not a guy that was looking to move up to 135 when Guillermo Rigondeaux might still be able to make 118 pounds, and was fighting at 122 pounds. Hopefully, this can go the way that things have been going for Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz lost by knockout to Deontay Wilder, and now he's back. He was back on Showtime, and the next shortly thereafter, Decuba Jr. got him on Showtime, and he was fought whoever that dude's name is, and now Joe Joyce wants to fight Luis Ortiz, and I think that Luis Ortiz is going to get several more fights, and he might get himself back into title contention and get another shot at the winner of. I would really like to see Luis Ortiz fight next Dominic Brazil. That's who I'd like to see Luis Ortiz fight, and I think that that's a fight that could probably be made. So all in all, this is a good look for Guillermo Rigondeaux, man, and it's a good look for boxing because Guillermo Rigondeaux said, man, all the stuff that has happened to Guillermo Rigondeaux in his career, it is something that you can make a book out of. Being a 2-time Olympic gold medalist who leaves his family to come over to the United States, then should have reached the pinnacle of boxing by knocking off a guy that had been considered by many people to be a top pound for pound fighter in Nonito Donaire, only to have his success turn to ashes in his mouth by the treatment that he received from Top Rank, the treatment that he received from HBO and Jim Lampley. Man, I swear to goodness, there's not a bigger tar mark on Jim Lampley's career, in my opinion, as a commentator, as the one caused by his treatment of Guillermo Rigondeaux. All the way from refusing to pronounce a man's name correctly on purpose to complaining all the way through his fights to finally lobbying to have his fight declared a no contest because of a punch that landed pretty much right after the bell, where Moise Flores, as I pronounce him, Moise Flores then takes a dive and gets rewarded with it by another title shot. Because ridiculous, man. But of course, there's going to be a lot of naysayers about Guillermo Rigondeaux and how Guillermo Rigondeaux went out against Vasyl Lomachenko, and with his hand injury, which a lot of people don't believe. But it is what it is, man. Guillermo Rigondeaux is a great fighter. As far as what he can do, I would still pick Guillermo Rigondeaux to beat those guys at 126 pounds. I would pick him to beat Leo Santa Cruz. I pick him to beat Carl Frampton, and I pick him to beat Abner Mares. Now, another guy that would be interested to see Guillermo Rigondeaux fight, who is I wouldn't consider him a big 126, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in there against Mr. Gary Russell Jr. during Gary Russell Jr.'s only one fight that's going to happen next year. I think Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Gary Russell Jr. would be a good matchup. I know it's probably not going to happen, but Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Jojo Diaz would also be a good fight. He could also stay down there at 122. And fight some of those guys that are coming up from 118. Those would be good fights for Guillermo Rigondeaux. I remember that Zolani Tite said that he wanted to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. That would be a nice fight. I'm a big, and they have this the World Boxing Super Series at bantamweight at 118 pounds. So you also have Ryan Burnett and Inoue. Those could be very, very interesting. Those could be interesting fights to see if he could get the winner out of that. I'm not too big on the guys are actually still at 122, except for Isaac Dogbo. That's a top rank fight, so we don't know necessarily if that would be able to be made because of the hurdles that take place with a top rank. I do believe Isaac Dogbo is now with top rank, or if he's not Isaac Dogbo, he has. Top Rank might have his U.S. rights, but man, I'm big on Isaac Dogbo. Not so big on Daniel Roman, but he could try to get his WBA junior featherweight or super bantamweight title back from Daniel Roman. All of those things would be good fights for Guillermo Rigondeaux. But now that Guillermo Rigondeaux looks like he might be a little bit more vulnerable, maybe some of these people will be willing to do it. But him not being under I think that this is probably his best promotional decision that he's made. I had a feeling that he would get signed by Matchroom and fight on the DAZN app because they're looking for guys that have good big names, and Guillermo Rigondeaux definitely has a big name. Of all the guys that between 122 and 126 and 118. I mean, his name is as good and as widely recognized as anybody else's. As a Gary Russell Jr. Maybe he doesn't have the home base that a Leo Santa Cruz does, fighting in Los Angeles, right? Or the crowds that the exception like a Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz. And I know Inoue is probably big in Japan, but anyway, it's going to be good to see. I would love to see. I can't wait to see what's happening. I'm glad that he's not retiring, and we'll get a chance to see, what he can do. I think him signing with a manager that's associated with the PBC and with Al Haymon is a very, very smart move. I think he should also try to get Al Haymon as an advisor in the later part of his career, and maybe Al can get some decent money for him and get again Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares, and Carl Frampton to step up to the plate, man. Scott Quigg, I do believe Scott Quigg lost. I would have said Scott Quigg, but I think if I recall correctly, Scott Quigg got taken off of that level. But then also there's another dude who's the number one ranked by the WBC at 126 pounds. That's Mark Magsayo. I'm looking forward to him. And actually, Mark Magsayo was also the number one rated guy for the WBO. So anyway, man, it'll be good stuff. I can't wait to see what happens. And with that, I'm out. Peace.